Today, being in small government, I have an insider's view of those things that make government work and those things that make government fail. When you ask yourself, let's throw this government on the trash heap and start over, where would the starting point be? Begin again? To ignore our founding, to ignore the ideas about all of the things that we had to overcome to get here? We don't ask ourselves the question, how did we arrive at this place where we want to overthrow the government for the purpose of bringing in a new and wonderful system that will serve our purposes, rather than what went wrong? When did we make these mistakes, and what have they wrought? What have they rained down on the people? We should be in the business of unwinding bad ideas, not this idea that all of a sudden the historical memory should be thrown on the trash heap, and that we, this almighty present group, can create a new government based on what? Unwind this government back to the idea of the sovereignty of the individual, the personal liberty, the sanctity of a personal contract of two people keeping their word. That underlying spontaneous order that gives a society the guidelines to succeed. When the third party, in the form of government or other interference, enters into the sanctity of a contractual agreement between two people, you have destroyed their ability to keep their word, their hopes, and their bond. And we are going down the road to third-party intervention, excuses, subterfuge, rationalism. You're not going to create something new, because man does not do that. Man always tries to change something, whether or not it is good or bad, without regard for the consequences. I would ask you to think about your neighbor. Why do you get along? Or why don't you get along? Can you leave your house unattended and expect that your neighbor will look out for you? Or do you lock your doors and bar your windows because you know your neighbor will not? What's the reason for that? You either have an agreement to act a certain way with that neighbor and he with you, or you do not. The essence of a civil society is an underlying order of respect and civility for one another. That is the essence of the purpose of government, to maintain that civil order and nothing more. Now, people would say that's anarchy. The people that say that's anarchy are the people that believe you cannot take care of yourself. I'll bet if I asked you, are you able to take care of yourself? You'd say yes. And if I asked you, are you willing to let other people make your decisions for you? You would say no. But you're not doing that, are you? You're voting and passing on your personal responsibility to someone who doesn't know you, is not your neighbor, and has no agreement with you whatsoever to uphold their side of your bargain. So when you walk away from that ballot box and ask yourself what happened to America, it's you, it's me. We don't have a sanctified agreement with the person that is making our decisions. You are allowing somebody to make your decisions for you, and then in bewilderment saying, what happened? What happened was us. This is our government. The order of government is the order of your household. It is the order of your relationship with your neighbor. It is a local issue. Change your local government, and we will change the big issues. Start now with civility and respect for your neighbor, and above all yourself, and the sanctity of your vote.